Barcelona have done it yet again. It is a 2-1 win this time against a very difficult Real Betis side in the Benito Villamarín. Today we set up in a 4-3-3 formation with Ter Stegen in goal, Christensen, Araujo, Koundé and Balde as the back four, a midfield three of Busquets, De Jong, Pedri, and a front three of Gavi, Lewandowski and Raphinha. Now Real Betis lined up with a 4-2-3-1 in this case, and they set up with Rui Silva in goal, Pezzella, Ribal, Felipe and Abner as the back four, Rodriguez and Carvalho as the midfield two, Fekir, Henrique, Canales and Iglesias as the front four. And both of these teams really set up in different formations, 4-3-3 and 4-2-3-1, and the contrasting, ways of playing and the contrasting styles of play, along with a very, very difficult away support, is what really pushed Barcelona today, and it was a huge test, and we managed to overcome that test with a 2-1 win. As usual, we dominated possession 64-36. We had 13 shots to Real Betis' 5, 6 offsides to their 3, 9 fouls to their 17, and 643 passes to their 361. It was a dominant performance from Barcelona, I would say, from minute 1 to 90. I think in the first half, we just really didn't convert chances, especially with Pedri. But as the game moved on along, we really got to, not only convert our chances, but start to create more chances in other areas as well. This game puts us 8 points clear of Real Madrid, who themselves have an important game against Valencia. I thought it was a superb performance for Barcelona today in a very, very hostile environment in Real Betis. 50,000 fans there. Absolutely one of the loudest away supports in history is Real Betis' support, because they are just a phenomenal team in La Liga for that very reason. But we managed to push through and get the win like we did last season when we secured top 4. We did it this season. And as usual, we were able to sneak through and get the win. In our last game, we won 1-0 against Girona. In previous games against Getafe and Sociedad, we sneaked through. Today, we very much snuck through because a 2-1 win against Betis is not the ideal scoreline. Koundé's getting an own goal it never happens. So it was a very astounding performance and an astounding result in that sense. But as usual, we move on because this was an important result and we have to continue doing this in the next game as well. Now, I thought an interesting thing that we have to look at is Real Madrid's schedule and compare it to our schedule. Real Madrid have Valencia, Mallorca, the Club World Cup, 2 games, Elche, Osasuna, and Liverpool. So really, they have a very, very difficult time over the next month. And having so many games is going to make them, really find it really challenging for them to actually get all the points. Now, Valencia and Mallorca, there's only a 3-game difference between the two of them. And then the Club World Cup is very exhausting considering they have to travel to a different country. And then immediately after, in 3 days, they have Elche. Immediately after, they have Osasuna, which is not even that big of a gap. So they're really going to start having to rest players in big games in La Liga. And we have to capitalize. And this 8-point gap could not only be 8, but it can turn to 11, it can turn to 14, it could even get to 17, we don't know. But it all depends on how Real Madrid do in February, because I think February will be the month that will decide whether they're actually in the title race or not. Comparing that to Barcelona's schedule, we have Sevilla next, then we have Villarreal, and we have Man United. I think the next 3 games are very, very difficult for Barcelona, but at the same time, we have a huge gap in between these games. We're not having to play every 3 days, and we don't have to face Madrid at least until March for the Copa del Rey. So I think we have a lot of time to really not only increase the lead at the top, but also maintain what we're doing at the moment. In terms of player ratings, I thought Ter Stegen was a 7. I thought he was good. His distribution was really good. Made 1 or 2 good saves. I thought our back 4 was excellent once again. Christensen, Araujo, Koundé, just superb. I know Koundé's own goal wasn't ideal, but Koundé overall today played really, really well. I thought he was able to really not only defend really well, but also attack, do some good overlaps at times. But I think Balde was the main player today. Absolutely superb from that left-hand side. Defended really well. I thought in the first half he was a little bit shaky because he gave the ball away in our own half a few times. But the second half, he was really able to drive forward and really make the proper runs. And obviously get an assist for Raphinha and play a huge role in that second half as well. In terms of our midfield 3, I thought they all played reasonably well. I thought Busquets was excellent. I think when Frankie is covering for him, he's extra good. I thought Frankie himself wasn't great today. I just didn't think he attacked well. I didn't think he defended well. I thought he was clumsy. When it comes to Pedri, I thought he was superb. I would only give him a 7 because he didn't score a goal. If he scored a goal, I thought it would be an 8. But superb performance from Pedri. Just a really balanced and well-played performance from Pedri. And our front 3 of Gavi, Lewandowski, and Raphinha, I think I would give Raphinha a 7. He did give the ball away, I think, quite a few times throughout the game, but he was able to make the difference with the goal and was also able to create a few good chances for not only Pedri, but a few other players in the team as well. So we just have to see more from Raphinha. And Xavi normally subs him off in the 60th minute, and today in the 65th minute, when he didn't sub him off, he managed to score a goal. So we just have to persevere and persist with Raphinha on that right-hand side. Lewandowski, as usual, was getting the goals, but I think the problem with Lewandowski is he's just not being the same player he was before the World Cup. He's just lost something. I'm not sure whether it's age. I'm not sure whether it's just him, not playing that many games over the last few weeks, but he's just not looked the same. And unless we find that kind of Lewandowski, I don't think he's going to be contributing too much more for this team other than goals, because before the World Cup, his link-up play was superb. It's just everything he did other than scoring was superb. And nowadays, he's just looking like a full goal poacher. He's looking like a Ronaldo that's actually not finished. So that's just not ideal from Lewandowski, but we're just going to have to keep persisting with him because we've signed him for many more years. And although he's 34 and 35, he's built himself really, really well. So I think if we just persist with Lewandowski and he doesn't get any stupid suspension or injury, we should be seeing the best version of him. I thought Gavi was okay today. I didn't think he was amazing, but on the left-hand side, it is a little bit of a very risky task. So that was the only real complaint with Gavi. But overall, I thought it was a really good performance from Barcelona. Again, a few of the main things that I found today was, again, from Neil. That was way more nervy than it needed to be, but we can let this one slide. A very unfortunate own goal, and Barca were cruise control up until. All in all, a satisfactory performance, and most importantly, all 3 points away against a very strong rival. On to the next. And I think this is what's important. It was a good performance. It was not a great goal to concede, but at the end of the day, we got the win in a very, very difficult away stadium, and we move on to much more difficult challenges next. And Balde was named the game's official man of the match. I thought he was superb once again today. We just need to see more of this from Balde. I feel like when he's on the left-hand side, sometimes he hesitates to cross. But with Lewandowski, with Pedri and Gavi making forward runs, with a player like Raphinha who makes runs into the box, into really, really good positions, Balde needs to cross more and more and more. And since we don't really have an overlapping right back, we need a good left back that can provide that support on the left-hand side for a left winger. So we have to see this from Balde, and I think we will. As he grows more into the game and he grows more into himself as the games go along, we will see a better version of Balde and a very consistent version of him as well. So overall, we're 8 points clear at the top. Xavi, as usual, is cooking. It was an absolutely superb performance from Barcelona, and we just have to keep this going. And make sure to subscribe and like this video for more content just like this one. It really does help the channel. And as always, Visca el Barça.